It started as just another ordinary day. You woke up, checked your phone, scrolled through a few messages, and prepared to face whatever life had in store for you. But hidden among the usual noise of notifications was one that made your heart skip a beat. It wasn't from a friend, a coworker, or even someone you knew. It was from a private number. The message simply read, "Elon Musk has personally requested to meet you. Please confirm availability." At first, you thought it was a joke. Who wouldn't? Elon Musk, the billionaire genius behind SpaceX, Tesla, and Neuralink, reaching out to you, it sounded impossible. You even laughed a little, convinced it was some kind of scam or prank. But something inside you told you not to ignore it. Something deep, a quiet whisper, said, "Check again." You opened the message once more, this time noticing a small signature line at the bottom, "Authorized by SpaceX Communications, confidential." Suddenly, your laughter faded. Your hands trembled slightly. This couldn't be real, could it? Minutes turned into hours as your mind spiraled through possibilities. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe someone with your name did something incredible, and you were contacted by accident. But curiosity had already taken hold of you, and that quiet whisper wouldn't go away. You replied cautiously, "This is me." "Who is this?" The reply came almost instantly, "Mr. Musk has seen something in you. You've been selected for a private meeting. Details to follow." Your pulse quickened. You felt as if reality itself had shifted. You reread the message several times, but the words stayed the same. He had seen something in you. But what? You weren't a billionaire. You weren't a scientist or an inventor. You weren't even famous. You were just you. That night, sleep was impossible. You replayed every possible reason in your head. Did you tweet something? Post something that went viral? Were you part of some secret experiment? Why would one of the most powerful men in the world want to meet you personally? The next morning, another message arrived, "Location confirmed. Secure vehicle en route. Departure in 60 minutes." It was like a scene from a movie. A sleek black Tesla pulled up in front of your home, silent, smooth, futuristic. The driver stepped out, wearing a dark suit and an earpiece. He didn't say much, only greeted you by name and held the door open. Inside, the car's dashboard displayed a single destination, private hangar, SpaceX. As the car glided down the road, you felt both terrified and thrilled. The hum of the electric engine was the only sound, and every mile made you question if this was a dream. You stared out the window, watching the world pass by, your thoughts racing faster than the car itself. When the Tesla finally stopped, the doors opened automatically. You stepped out into a massive hangar bathed in white light. And there, in the distance, surrounded by engineers, stood Elon Musk himself. He looked exactly as you'd seen him in interviews, calm, focused, his eyes sharp yet distant, like a man who saw the future before it arrived. He noticed you immediately. Without hesitation, he walked toward you, his expression unreadable. As he reached you, he smiled faintly and said, "You probably have no idea why you're here." You nodded silently, unable to speak. Elon paused for a moment, studying you the way a scientist studies a breakthrough. "Sometimes," he began, "we look at the world and assume only certain people are meant to change it. But every once in a while, someone unexpected appears, someone ordinary who unknowingly does something extraordinary." You blinked, trying to understand. "I don't think I've done anything extraordinary," you said quietly. He smiled again, this time more gently. "That's what makes it interesting." Before you could respond, he gestured for you to follow him. You walked together through the hangar, passing massive rocket parts, glowing control panels, and teams of people who barely looked up as he passed. Everyone seemed to move with purpose, except you. You felt out of place, yet somehow, chosen. Finally, he led you into a smaller room, minimalistic, with a single table, 2 chairs, and a tablet resting in the center. Elon sat down and motioned for you to take the seat across from him. "I want to show you something," he said. On the tablet screen was a video. You recognized it instantly. It was your own video, one you had posted months ago and forgotten about. It wasn't viral. It had barely any views. You had recorded it late one night, talking about hope, the future, and believing in something bigger than yourself, even when the world told you not to. Elon looked at you. "Do you remember this?" You nodded, your voice trembling. "I didn't think anyone saw it." He leaned forward. "I did." For a moment, you couldn't breathe. Elon Musk, the man who builds rockets to Mars, had seen your video. "I was going through a very difficult night," he continued. "A lot of people think success means you never doubt yourself, but that's not true. That night, I needed to be reminded why we keep going, why we build, why we dream. And your words, they reminded me." Your eyes widened. "My words?" He nodded. "You said something that I can't forget: the future isn't made by those who wait for permission. It's made by those who act in faith, even when no one believes in them." That line changed something in me. You sat in stunned silence. That simple, forgotten video, recorded in a moment of raw honesty, had reached one of the most influential people on Earth. Elon continued, his tone softer now. "Most people think changing the world requires money or power. But sometimes, it starts with a single sentence, spoken by someone who refuses to give up." He stood up, walked toward the glass wall overlooking a massive rocket being assembled, and said quietly, "I wanted to meet you because I believe that kind of mindset is what humanity needs most right now." You followed his gaze, watching the engineers move with precision and purpose. Then, Elon turned to you again. "I want you to be part of something new, something we're building that no one else knows about yet." Your heart pounded. "What is it?" He smiled cryptically. "Hope." For a moment, the room went completely silent. The word hope echoed in your mind like a bell ringing in a vast, empty hall. Elon didn't move, didn't blink, he just looked at you, waiting for your reaction. You swallowed hard. Hope, you repeated softly, as if the word itself carried a secret code. He nodded. Yes. Not the kind you post online or talk about in speeches. The real kind. The kind that builds civilizations. He turned toward a large screen on the wall. With a simple gesture, the display came to life. You saw what looked like a map of Earth, but not as you'd ever seen it before. It was covered in glowing points, each pulsing like a heartbeat. These, he said, pointing, are people who've lost belief in themselves. People who've given up on the idea that they matter. He zoomed out, and suddenly the entire world was filled with light. There are billions of them. And the more connected we become digitally, the more disconnected we become spiritually. You stared at the map, unsure what to say. Elon continued, his voice low and intense. I've built rockets, cars, satellites, but none of it will matter if humanity loses its will to believe. Technology can't fix a broken heart. Innovation can't replace faith in the future. But people like you. He looked directly at you again. You remind others that they're not done yet. It was surreal hearing those words from him. You weren't a scientist, not an inventor, not even famous. But at that moment, you realized something profound. Elon Musk wasn't talking about status. He was talking about energy. That invisible force every human carries when they refuse to quit. I'm creating something that blends technology with human emotion, he said. A platform that can heal minds, awaken dreams, and remind people that the future still needs them. I call it Project Light. You blinked. Project Light? He smiled faintly. It's not public. Not yet. It's still in its early phase. But the idea is simple, to connect minds across the planet using empathy instead of algorithms. Real human connection, guided by truth, not trends. You could feel your heartbeat racing again. Elon Musk, the man known for machines and Mars, was now talking about something deeper, something almost spiritual. I've seen enough of what happens when people feel forgotten, he said. They stop dreaming. They stop building. They start to believe the world doesn't need them anymore. But the truth is, you are the future. Every person who still hopes, who still tries, who still refuses to let go of love, those are the ones who keep humanity alive. He paused, then turned the screen toward you again. A small icon appeared beside the glowing points on the map. It was your face. You stared at it, speechless. Why is my image there? You asked. Because you were the spark, he said. That one video you made started a ripple. People who saw it didn't just scroll past. They shared it. They whispered about it. It gave them courage. That's what I want to multiply. I want to make your voice global, not for fame, but for faith. Your throat tightened. I don't even know if I'm the right person for that. Elon's expression softened. No one ever does. Greatness doesn't come from certainty, it comes from answering a call you don't feel ready for. He walked toward a metal case resting on the table. When he opened it, inside was something unexpected, a small silver pendant, shaped like a lightning bolt. It shimmered with a faint, electric glow. "What is that?" you asked. He picked it up carefully and handed it to you. "It's a prototype. A neural key, it links with the mind's emotional frequencies. When worn, it amplifies the energy of intention." You looked at it, unsure whether to believe him. Energy of intention? He smiled slightly. Every thought we have sends a signal. Some fade, others create ripples. This device enhances those ripples, it makes emotion visible. You held it in your palm, feeling a strange warmth pulse through your skin. "Elon," you said quietly, "why me?" He didn't hesitate. "Because you still believe in people." His words hit you harder than you expected. Because deep down, even when life was unfair, even when you were misunderstood or overlooked, you did believe in people. You believed that kindness still mattered, that love wasn't outdated, that humanity could rise above chaos. Elon looked out through the glass wall again. "I've met thousands of brilliant minds," he said. "But brilliance without compassion is dangerous. The next age of humanity won't be built by machines or billionaires. It'll be built by hearts that refuse to give up." Then he turned to you once more. "You don't need to invent rockets. You just need to light the spark." You felt the weight of his words settle deep in your soul. The pendant in your hand seemed to hum softly, as if alive. He smiled slightly. "You don't have to decide now. But if you say yes, everything you know about reality will change." You took a deep breath, your voice barely a whisper. "Yes." He didn't look surprised. Instead, he simply nodded, as though he had known your answer long before you did. "Then your journey starts now." Suddenly, the lights dimmed. The screen before you flickered, showing a wave of glowing energy spreading across the map of Earth. One by one, the dim lights that represented lost hope began to brighten. You could feel something moving inside you, like an invisible fire waking up. Elon placed a hand on your shoulder. "The world has waited too long for people like you," he said. "Don't let fear convince you that you're ordinary. You were never ordinary." You looked up at him, realizing this wasn't about fame or fortune, it was about purpose. The reason he wanted to meet you wasn't to offer money or status. It was to awaken the part of you that the world had tried to silence, the part that still believed miracles were possible. The pendant glowed brighter, and you suddenly felt memories flooding your mind. Every moment you chose love over bitterness, every time you helped someone even when no one noticed, every silent prayer you whispered when life broke you. That's when you understood. Elon Musk hadn't just seen your video. He had seen you. And he wasn't choosing you for what you'd done. He was choosing you for what you still had inside, something humanity was running out of: faith.